more. Okay. I said I'll do one more episode. If only I can get the fucking timer started. There we go. Alright, let's go. It's what, almost 2 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, it's 1:57, so yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
And Amon, that money, $5,000 going right to Angela's pocket. Oh, yes, it is.
Ah, fuck off. I just want to see 600. It's good.
I'm excited for her.
So around 3,000.
We just highlight the men from Big Brother 20. You have Swaggy and you have Tyler, and they just praise the women that they're with. I'm sorry, they're just great significant others, and I enjoy watching them with their significant others.
Bestie, also.
Woo!
Two guys that really are madly in love with their significant others. Yes.
Madly.
Okay. All right. So we start to see after the HOH,
Okay, that was
Enzo's
close.
pumped up. Memphis is pumped up, and we see Danny. She's really trying to say, "Oh, you know, it's really bad. Christmas." She was so. Cody, you have no idea. She was so mad. She was so mad that she won. Somebody was talking about how she gets really gassed up.
Get gassed up.
That was what they cut to. I'm like, you know how Christmas gets, and they cut.
Gassed up.
Yeah. I'm on.
So strange. She's so angry.
Yeah, she's
Like
really.
watching her work out is like she's like performing like angry Olympics. It's like insane.
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you
What? They
follow
kill
her
only the
CrossFit
couples?
plan.
Deputy, it's Doc.
You
Just
get
wanted
gassed
to
up.
remind you not to disturb the angel.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. I think
You
I'll
won't be able to
the
test the
Christmas
experimental
today.
bacon.
Yeah,
You'll
she's so
ignore it,
much
and you'll be
rage
left with a rabbit
inside
warren.
her. That's how she's able to really become an elite athlete.
I know, it's so insane because I remember like one of the reasons why I drafted her in the beginning of the season was because I just felt like she was sort of like a different person this time around. She was just so excited to get the call in the first place, and now she's gone back to this personality, and I'm like, oh god, like she's the last remaining member on my draft, and I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, it's like personal trainers are supposed to be intense, right? But like, if I was working out with Christmas and she's who she is and she's carrying the workout that way, I would like become Enzo, be like, enough, yo, enough. I don't even leave it.
Here's the problem I think with Christmas is that half the time she's gonna be like on your case, and then the other half of the time she's gonna be singing Baby Shark and going. And honestly, I think that one is
Okay, whatever.
You know, I do think that once Danny goes out, I feel like then we
Oh, that
will
was
be
pretty
left with Christmas and Nicole and Asia. I think it's going to be what this season was always destined to be. That will be down to the two women who both want to be the only women who work with the men. I think that will be. It will be all the guys, and then it will be Christmas versus Nicole.
Yes, literally what it's gonna turn into. That, I mean, and that's the theme of this season, where the minority go against each other. Like the minority group of the house go against each other, while the majority chills. So then, if Danny goes, then you have Christmas and Nicole being the only women left, and then they're gonna go after each other, and then the men like Cody and Memphis are just that's them going after each other. That has nothing to do with us. Continuing not to be targeted.
Yeah, I definitely can see that, especially if we get a scenario in the triple where David goes out and Danny goes out
Shows, why don't I have
the triple eviction, and then we get down to it's just the guys in the house, and then it'll be a battle of Christmas and Nicole who can ride that one out.
Even if one of them get HOH in the triple, I can very well see, well, we don't know how it's going to be structured, but even after the triple, one of them gets HOH guaranteed, one of them is going up on their HOH.
grizzly bear skin? Where the fuck was the grizzly bear skin? Fuck off, and 3 of them. Wait, not what I meant to do.
Or really over the course of the next week, Danny was not giving Christmas anything, Christmas was seeing it. Then, the big turning point was, Danny was HOH, she had to put up Tyler after the disruptor power, and when she did that, she immediately went to Christmas and said, oh my god, if the veto is used, I'm gonna have to put up you, Memphis, or Enzo as a pawn. And Christmas was like, hold up, why am I an option when Devon is still here? That really soured her on Danny. And ever since, she has been catching on to all of the seeds that Danny is planting, which again, Danny just continues to be.
I have another final 3, so I guess I'm stuck.
That was the big question, Rob. That was what they were going to have to figure out if it happened.
Wait, all the ones I'm seeing are in Jacob's area. Which is here.
Maybe we set it up so the votes are supposed to come in 3-3. Nicole, Danny, and Kevin would vote to keep
Yeah, sure, let's just do that.
Keep David.
Actually, I might as well go here and do that shrine while we're there.
David vote to evict Christmas, and then one of the votes would flip. That would be me. I would also join them, and then I would blame Tyler. I would say, oh, Tyler flipped. Tyler voted out Christmas. Memphis, what are we gonna do? And so I think that was kind of the initial plan there, but nothing super solid. Yeah, I don't think that would have worked, and I don't think they would have done it.
Yeah. That's when Enzo tells us that Memphis and Christmas are full of doo-doo.
Full of doo-doo, yo. That's doo-doo. Trying to say.
They need a bidet.
Yeah. Speaking of eating a bidet, we also got Enzo being walked in on in the bathroom by Nicole Francis.
Yes, can we talk about how even when David is telling us
Those shrines actually give you a decent amount, like 100.
anything? No.
But like it being that easy, like it's actually pretty decent amount.
David.
Classic David.
It's Tracy.
Pretending people are
Who?
in the bathroom.
They're all along that pilgrimage they got going on. And they all have some fucking peggies gathered around jerking the Joseph.
He's like, I literally told you. I
Blast
told
the rest of those shrines to powder.
Like, y'all, like David could
isn't there a way, like, I feel like that there's, could we have, like, I feel like that even when you go on a plane, I know there's no lock, and if they don't want to give them a lock, can't they do something to have, like, when the light is on, that there's, like a light bulb outside the bathroom?
You know, that would work. But there's also this other invention. It came about, I don't know, a few centuries ago. You take your hand, ball it up into a fist like this, and then you wrap your knuckles on the door.
What's that called?
Then, like, I think, you know, the person on the inside would hear that, and then they would, you know, say, yeah. I think that would really, really work.
Okay. Alright, so, we see Cody having a conversation with Nicole, and this is where Nicole is really saying, like,
That was
hey,
really
like,
bad.
I would totally, not put Christmas up on the block, because you be doing Danny's dirty work, and I'm totally, she seemed, more excited Danny would go up on the block than
Exactly. She thinks the idea is stupid, and like you said earlier, because Christmas is kind of like in her head, like she wants to be closer to Christmas now that she knows she's against Danny. But like we said, once she's down with just Christmas, she's gonna want to be the last girl standing with all of the guys. And that's definitely
Okay. Didn't plan on that, but whatever. It's cool.
Gonna want to say that, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you. It's gonna be fine." But yeah, she's way more on board with getting Danny out, which is crazy because like she has it in her head now that Danny is after her, but Danny has known Nicole's whole game. So why would Nicole want to be putting on the front that she is so against Danny? Especially with Danny and Cody being so close. Like Nicole, you really trust Cody enough that he's not gonna say anything to Danny?
Come on, it's gonna be so great when the season is over. Well, for a variety of reasons, but for the Danny versus Nicole social media battle, and that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm unblocked by Danny now.
Like, once Danny gets all these receipts, she'll be furious, right?
Yeah, I think she will, and I think what she's probably going to do is she's going to be like, man, see, Janelle, aren't we just the victims of these terrible people? Janelle,
Nicole is so annoying.
yeah, I can't believe that, like, you know, we really should have worked together, Janelle, if only we had been able to, because these people...
No, did you try that? She's got to be dumb. I mean, you were out here talking about these throwing her, like,
Yes. Is Danny gonna be uninvited to the wedding?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She won't be uninvited to the wedding, but then Nicole will be like, no, she was invited, and then she said these things about me, and then, because Danny's not big on social media. She's not going to be dragging Nicole on social media, but I think she will be, like, very passive aggressive.
I think that Nicole would
Cool.
do something like that. I think she would say,
It's fucking dumb, but whatever.
I don't want to have to uninvite Danny, but I don't want her to come. Can you please, like, get her to not come, but without, like, you know, uninvited, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, how early do they have to put their $3,000 down? You don't think they already paid, do you?
when is this wedding? Isn't it like
In October?
right? It's like right after the season.
Yeah.
The timing of
That
it.
was, no, it was brilliant. It was hopefully it's close enough that people don't have to watch the episode yet. So hopefully they've already RSVP'd, they haven't seen the episode, and then they still get the gift. Brilliant. Diabolical. You know.
I don't even think about it that way.
Over here.
Yeah.
Eden's Gate
Okay.
sends their angels and
But
killers on
I
little
really
walks
do
they
wonder
call
just how much of this is
pilgrimages.
she trying to, like, oh,
This
she
place is a
knows
big
that
part
this
of that
all looks so
pilgrimage.
terrible that she
So now
has to
that we
pin
took
it
it
all
from 'em,
on Danny,
gonna
and
want
I
it
wonder
back.
maybe that's
We got word a
ultimately
bunch of them
where
are headed this
Danny
way.
has to be
We need
the
to defend
person
this place,
who
no
pays
matter
the
what.
bill for all
Here's
of
a mounted
her
gun,
transgressions
a bunch of
in the
violent
eyes
goodies
of
over
the
there.
casual audience.
Let's get to work.
So,
That's probably what's gonna happen.
let's get to
Yeah,
Kevin
whatever, I'll do it.
and Cody. Asia, we see a nice chat between Kevin and Cody, and it gets hot.
It does, and I think that I'm glad that Kevin, like, not trying to hide his annoyance, but the way this conversation was just handled was just like, I understand that you're frustrated, Kevin, but you're having a very hard time communicating it in this context. So Cody was just confused. So all Cody was doing was giving feedback on the conversation, while Kevin was like in the conversation. So then it was just this very weird situation. Like, who says in the middle of someone giving them digs, you're throwing digs right now? Like, it was very one-sided.
Asia, I feel like you're talking about somebody throwing digs right now. I'm not sure why you've started to say that, but I feel like that's where we are at right now.
And I feel like you're talking about Asia throwing digs right now, so it's kind of like, you know, a little strange.
Come on, are we going tit for tat? Like, what's going on here?
I think we're going tat for tat, yeah.
Thanks for the connecting.
You know, the great line from this conversation ends up being the revolver at you, Cody.
He was really, really burning about that comment. Like, he told everybody, like, he was like, he did not get over it. I'm like, Cody, I don't understand why this is so much. Because, I mean, he said it such, he was like, yeah, I feel like people always about me, that's the way I look. So it seems like he was trying to say that because he's an attractive person, people automatically assume that he is.
No, it's not right. Not right. Not right. People get on Cody for, I mean, that is his cross to bear in his life.
To be fair, Kevin, at the time Cody was saying this, was saying pretty much those words. Like, because he's so good looking, he thinks the world revolves around him. And he has brought it up.
I'm confused. Why are they attacking me?
It's so funny, just like the stark contrast in conversations between him and Cody. We had a Kevin and Cody conversation before Kevin went on the block and we won, and now we're back at it again, and these two conversations could not be any more different. It is just like,
It's like, because the original conversation was like, oh my god, Cody, you're so good looking,
you're so
and
good looking, you're so perfect, you're talented, you're beautiful, you look like a model, like all that stuff, and now he is just, which like I understand it, like Kevin, no, we can say a lot about Kevin, he has talked about his game.
Come on, here's the, let's go back to week 1. Kevin and Cody in the storage room.
I love that you have this.
Name's Gillette. Your beard is our trade. These are your tools.
Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. Spray, wipe, rinse. Dawn Power Wash.
Yeah, I need somebody to like do some video manipulation and start like cross-cutting these conversations because it's hilarious. Like I understand Kevin here, like
Okay, you know what? This is not
y'all,
working.
this is number 5.
What the fuck?
Number 5, and Kevin has not really had a lot of speed on this power.
Oh, I didn't know it was like
I get it,
Whatever.
but like at some point, lose it because it's like, well, and that's how it's just a conversation. I'm like, well, Cody, what can I do? It's not gonna fucking pay. He's not nominating me again. Like I don't know, like what else am I supposed to do here? And for Cody, I mean, Cody kind of like laughed in his face a little bit, which I kind of felt like that was like kind of disrespectful. Like clearly the guy is like trying to level with you here, and you're so comfortable that this conversation is so blasé to you, and I think of sex. It's like I'm fighting for my life again, and yet here you are, just like, yeah.
Oh, fuck off. We need to go back here.
Vote for me now? Come on! Just because I nominated you another time to get you evicted from the house, you're gonna vote for me?
I love these jury house threatens. I love it. I love it because it makes them all lose their minds.
I hate it because it only further encourages big alliances to stick together. That like when you threaten your jury vote, you're forcing them to only take each other to the end.
That's very true. That's very true. In the long run, I mean, they're never going to stick together regardless anyway. But yeah, you're right. You're not really incentivizing them to. And that's what he said. If you were the final two,
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too that we've talked about. That, like it never works. If anything, it tends to make the person double down. And
I just like how uncomfortable he got. Just how like because Cody's been so comfortable the whole game, and the two times that he has been rattled is when Kaiser accused him of being in the love triangle, and when Kevin tells him that the one is the see it from like your perspective. Like you weren't really talking to me, so I don't really know how am I supposed to make this conversation. And then Kevin was like, well, every time I come into a room, all of you guys stop talking. And Cody was like, oh, so every time you walk into a room, all the conversation stops me. It's all my fault. He's like, no, the world doesn't revolve around you. So they didn't show how he got to that point. They kind of just had him say it, and now it looks like Kevin is being more aggressive than he needed to be.
Is this the type of thing where it's like, Cody needed a good reason to put Kevin up on the block and then was looking for an argument, or do you think this is more on Kevin?
Well, I think Cody was looking for a reason because they were up all night Thursday night trying to figure out how to justify putting up Kevin and David. So Cody was looking for a way to justify putting up Kevin, even though he was going to do it in the first place. So that only just added to the argument. He just heard he nominated him. Like, the conversation got out of hand. He was able to lean on that conversation as a way to justify his nomination. So it didn't help by any means, but I think Kevin already didn't want to talk to him. And like you said, Amon, he was agitated by the fact that Cody was laughing it off. And so I think Kevin was the reason why it kind of escalated to how it did. But I just don't think it helped the situation, but he was going up regardless.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to it was a 99% chance that Kevin was going to go up on the block, right? But then that conversation just makes it 100%. That one little percent,
Cody said 1 billion percent.
Exactly. So now he's just good. I mean, I enjoyed it though. So thank you, Kevin. That's like the only thing that's really happened this week.
Yeah. Well, I did love Kevin leaving the competition with Cody. This was his sign off to Cody when he said, I lost it. Hold on. 1 second. Ironically, that he said to Cody, thanks for connecting. Which is,
yeah, I want to
really great. F you. I got these people on Twitter, and we're just going to do thanks for connecting. Great. Okay. All right. We get our nominations. It was Kevin, and it was David going to win the veto, just like when LeBron was down 3-1. Gonna do it.
You know what?
All about that reference.
David does probably honestly secretly think that he has many qualities of LeBron in the Big Brother game. So that's perception.
Yeah, when he started going for that metaphor, I was like, okay, here we go. Look at that. I mean, I already don't get sports as it is, but something tells me that LeBron is a really, really good player, and I feel like comparing your situation to LeBron, it seems like you're jumping, you're being shit, you're trying to inflation. Yeah, I mean, David and LeBron are both in some sort of a bubble environment right now.
True.
Is that common? LeBron's the rookie one.
You have a point, Rob. I'm starting to see it.
They're both currently living in Los Angeles. So, yay, that's making me feel a little better. A little bit.
Now I feel like I'm in David's head. Okay.
Yeah. And when he was throwing the confetti, that's like when LeBron throws the dust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I have a little update on David from one of our great Twitter followers, at Little Sister _1. David Alexander is a senior sales rep with a whey protein powder company, according to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is so hot. Yeah, that sounds right to me. About his supplements quite a lot, so. Okay. All right. So, anything else from the episode? Questions?
Oh, fuck off, another one.
Yeah, just put his face on that protein powder after he wins. Okay. All right. Let's take questions from Nathan. When did Christmas stop trusting Nicole? Okay. Yeah, Christmas seems to have
I'm using the wrong fucking stuff. There we go. I was using the wrong fucking, reticle. Wait, what? Okay. That works too. Oh, fuck up another one. Relatively close, huh?
With the impending civil war from the committee, who do you think is the most
where are we at? Like,
who is in control? You know, let's
load,
why don't
please?
we
I'm pretty sure
talk
we're close.
this
Alright,
through a little bit
2,400.
more before we go to
Alright,
the
that's not too
spoilers, and
bad.
then we'll talk a little bit more about you know, how this week's vote is shaping up, and then heading into the big night of the triple eviction coming up on Thursday.
What are your timelines?
Police says, I think the House guests will be told about the triple eviction. You think they'll be told the night of, after the double, after the second HOH of the night? Y'all are gorgeous tonight, and every night. Oh, wow, thank you. Elise knows how to get her question right. Yes. Okay. Amon, how do you think that we'll see this reveal on Thursday night? Will it be from Dr. Will?
I think that Dr. Will is not going to be there.
Well, I don't think he'll be there, but will we get like, hey, you know, hey everybody, guess what? We got a big night ahead of you.
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna want like Julie to drop the bomb on them so they can get like a proper reaction. Because like we can just hear Julie, we can't like hear. Like we're gonna see Dr. Will, and if we're seeing Dr. Will, we're not seeing their faces. So I feel like it'll probably be Julie saying it. But what I'm hoping we get, and again we don't even really know how it's gonna work necessarily, but assuming we get the double, which is there's an eviction on Thursday as normal, then we go into a double eviction, HOH, 2 nominations, 1 person's evicted.
This one, okay, it's not that much.
Another HOH and another pair of nominations and another person evicted, all in the space of the 2-hour episode. That would be my ideal scenario, and in that scenario, what I would love is for you to say, guess what guys, it's a double eviction, and then run through the first eviction of, you know, the second eviction of the night, as a normal double eviction, and then at, you know, 9 o'clock when the episode normally would end, be like, or it doesn't even have to be 9 o'clock, it's but like, after that cycle ends, be like, okay guys, so what, you know, what are you thinking now? Guess what? You got another one coming. It's a triple eviction. Go again, head outside, you're having another competition, another person is leaving tonight. That would really surprise them. And if they would have given at a double eviction, like, make shock with a little bit of like, oh, triple, oh, what?
I'm so afraid that it's going to be the latter where they are. I think they're just so excited that this is a triple eviction. Like they've been advertising the commercial, and I think that like they cannot wait for Julie to say tonight's a triple eviction. We're gonna run through 2 weeks of the house in 2 hours, and she's gonna have to explain everything. And so it's gonna be one reason to keep hurrying the house guests along. We have so much to get into tonight. So I think I fear that it's going to be at the beginning, but it would be so great if they just thought it was a double.
I will say, on the plus side, if they do it the like slightly more boring way, if they know it's a triple ahead of time, then they're going to be freaking out for the entirety of the 2 hours, trying to plan for the next one, and there's going to be a lot more like, oh my god, like running around planning for the following eviction during the first eviction, and there'll probably be more drama.
Yeah.
Karen, I know that we're all under the assumption that we're going to get the double, but have there been any sort of confirmation from any production interviews? Like, I'm a little worried that we might just be like, okay, well, let's assume that that's what they're doing, and then it'll just sort of like that's fact, and either it could be potentially the Big Brother Canada triple eviction, or it could be some other new thing that we're not even thinking.
Pick 2 people. They're gone.
Oh, I picked the wrong one. She picked the one in the
Yeah,
back.
I mean, that would be unfortunate, especially with like how things are set up. We would just like straight up just lose. Like David would be an eviction, I think. If it's nominate 3 people, David is gonna be one of them, and David is gonna go home just on accident, like 100% in that situation, in my opinion. And that would be unfortunate. So I really hope we get to. I mean, we have 2 hours. Like, are we really gonna waste time? You know, like. Just like having 1 eviction, like let's get 2 of them here.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Just because we say like, oh no, that's a terrible idea, doesn't mean that that's not what it's gonna be.
Right.
In fact, Rob, it probably means that it's more likely to be that.
Right.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't think it's the Big Brother Canada way is because you can do that format in an hour. And they do not have enough content to last 2 hours if they're doing it that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's interesting that why this week, why they want the 2-hour block. I just wonder if this is like, does Big Brother get something? I know that Thursday Night Football is going to be on this week, but that's been the case for all of these Thursdays. So I'm not sure if there's like something that they're trying to necessarily compete with, or if this is just that they have this big idea.
I mean, Love Island is going to hit by that point, right? Maybe it's not.
Is it the Love Island finale yet?
The finale is this week, but I don't know if it's... Oh, okay.
Maybe they have an extra hour block to fill because of the lack of Love Island. Okay. Let's take another question. This one is from Ryan. David has been on fire in Diary Room. Is there a universe where David wins AFP? Yes! Yes!
Absolutely not.
Confetti!
I don't think he's out of the running. I would honestly, at this point, considering David's trajectory in the game, I'm really surprised if David was not in the top 3.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about how David's by the committee, and these are like casual fans. I'll check this out.
Whatever. I think we'll end.
We're
already like over 30.
David support because people are just sort of like sick of everyone else. So I could see him being up there too.
You know, I'm kind of thinking, should I just do one more? Say fuck it.
And I like all it takes too, like to give a big boost to David would be just winning 1 HOH, whether it's the double or sorry the triple, or afterward he just wins 1 HOH and takes out a big hitter, which like pretty much everyone left is at this point, and like for the first time in the entire season, the only person in the minority to win an HOH, like that's gonna be huge.
Hey, it was the best moment of Big Brother 21 when Nicole won the HOH during the double eviction.
Exactly.
Was it?
Yeah, even though that sounds like that would be a possibility, I just think it's very
Yeah, we'll
low
end in a
possibility.
second then.
Especially if it is something like iconic that happens during the triple. We still have like 3 more weeks to go, and it's not going to be anything that's in any like casual recent memory. So I think that, you know, if he happens to stay through the triple and is able to get an HOH in like a week, then I could see there being some momentum
For now,
people
thank you for watching.
being able to, like,